we got to talk about the incredible Cars Tour race that happened at Dominion. I don't know that. I don't know if did anybody in here watch it.
I did not.
Okay. All right. So if you haven't seen it, you can go to Flow and catch a replay or some highlights. But the battle for the win was a bit viral on social media Saturday night and Sunday. Butterbean McQueen, one of your favorites, Mike.
Yep.
Number 03 in the Cars Tour. Quite a character, quite a personality. Pretty much led most of the race and controlled the race for the most part, and had the best car. He was going to win the race. A couple cautions happened late. It gave Carson Kvapil, who was running second, third. Bobby McCarty's also up in the top 3 throughout the race. But Carson gets on the outside for a restart and beats Butterbean McQueen, or almost beats him, but holds really strong on the outside, has a great restart, and then another yellow presents another opportunity for Carson, and he passes Butterbean on the outside clean, right? And then Butterbean having the best car and he's a really talented driver. He gets back to Carson with about 9 or 8 laps to go. Gets underneath him, and when he gets underneath him, the way I understand the etiquette in short track racing is, it's okay to lean on each other a little bit. And Butterbean did that in the first turn, and then he did it again in the next turn, and then it's like 3 or 4 turns in a row. He just drives up and slides into the side of Carson over and over, right? And the last turn that they made contact really disrupted the speed in both cars, and Bobby McCarty comes from behind and goes 3 wide to the inside off of turn 2 down the back straightaway, and 3 wide at Dominion. It's a little bit narrow. All of that really squeezed Carson into the outside wall. There's a lot of contact between Butterbean and Carson gets the worst end of this deal, right? He was racing really hard on the outside. Maybe had a chance to hold off Butterbean, but even if he didn't, he's going to run probably second. But anyways, he gets damaged, folds the nose in under the tire, and ends up falling back to 4th or 5th. Bobby passes them both and wins the race side by side across the line by about 2 feet. It's a fantastic finish.
That sounds like it.
It was a very I knew I would be in this situation, and I'll be in this situation again, a very uncomfortable one at that, where I owned some of the series.
Yeah.
I'm an investor in the series, and I also own a car that competes out there, a car that competes really well. And so I thought, for me, Carson did a really, really good job. I was impressed by how he ran on the outside and how committed he was. The 03 has Butterbean Queen. It's not McQueen.
Right.
Butterbean Queen has beaten him this whole race. And so a lot of times when you have a late restart, that plays into your mind a little bit. You're on the outside, and you're like, well, this guy's got the best car. I don't know how much of a shot I got. And a lot of guys are already beaten before they get that green flag for the final restart. Carson, though, man, he acted and raced like he had every chance in the world to win that race. And he actually got around Butterbean and takes the lead cleanly. I felt like that was some of the most impressive driving that I had seen from Carson in the short career that he's been running for us.
That's saying something.
I was very impressed by that.
Sure.
And so while he didn't get a great result, I saw some things. I saw him do some things that I thought that's what you want to see from a driver who you feel like could make it, right? Who has the tools to get there, right? You want to see him be presented with an opportunity late, even though he knows he's not got the best car, and give it more than his all to get the lead and control of the race. He did that. Butterbean is a great personality. Again, he's an asset to the Cars Tour. He brings a good following that he's growing. He works and engages well with fans and kids at the racetrack. He's got a well respected. I mean, that's an understatement. In Lee Pulliam for his car owner. Lee is considered one of the greatest late model stock racers of in history, if you will. I can't say enough about how much I respect Lee and what he does and how much he means to the tour. Having him, he has a couple cars that competes out there, and he's got a great little driver in Butterbean. And so they're going to be battling Carson for this championship, and it's going to go down to the wire more than likely. And there'll be more run-ins between them. I was just a little bit disappointed that when a guy passes you cleanly on the outside and takes the lead, you give him a little bit more respect when you're trying to get back by him. Butterbean ran into the door of the 8 car, Carson, 3 corners in a row before Bobby goes by. And, every corner, they didn't go through a corner without making contact. And, it was I was like, damn, man, come on. He passed you clean on the outside. Try not to, drive him up the racetrack and just, trying to be so, it was just a lot of contact. So Bobby is a veteran champion of the Cars Tour. It was great to see him win. I want to see Bobby have success because I think he's a personality that has a great place in the series. The series has a lot of different talent and a lot of different personalities, young and old, that all play sort of this role, if you will, like you'd see in a comic book. You know what I mean? There's the villains, there's the veterans, there's the young guys coming in, there's the heroes, and so everybody kind of fills these roles really, really nicely. And Bobby, I'd like to have him around for quite a few more years. Sure. Because of what I think he means to the series. So it's good to see him have success. And Butterbean, I called him on the phone. And I was like, I said what I said. I said, you're a talent. You're a great asset to the series. Love everything you do. And this is going to be a battle for the championship that's going to happen. You and Carson are going to race hard and be in these situations throughout the year. You have a responsibility to keep it professional. You have a responsibility on your end to try to, make sure that it doesn't become physical on the racetrack or off the racetrack where it's a bad look for the series or you. I was going to ask, was there any conversation? I know you were only watching it on Flow, so you may not even know the answer, but do you know if Carson and Butterbean had a conversation and was it cordial if they did? Butterbean said it went as good as it probably could have in the moment. It was right after the race. When I talked to Butterbean, I think I told him, I said, Carson passed you clean. I expected you to do a little bit more to take better care of him in that moment. I think you used him up too much. It's my opinion. Everybody might not have the same opinion. Some people might go, yeah, it's good racing, good short track racing. It was. Listen, I own the series. I love the finish. I thought if I could get that, that kind of excitement every week, yeah. Holy hell, yeah. We're good with it. But I just told Butterbean, I was like, when a guy passes you clean on the outside on late restart, you got a fast enough car, you can get back by him. Yes, hit him a time or two, but damn, every corner till it's just, till both cars are used up. But I will say, and I don't know whether that'll change the way Butterbean races or not. And it might not. But I think his, it just speaks to, I think, how much contact or how much aggression is okay. In his eyes, he thought he was doing everything he needed to do, and everything that he did was just hard racing. That's the way he feels, right? Carson, on the other hand, goes, that was more than hard racing for me. That wasn't the way I would have, expected to be raced. And so, but we'll see. If the shoe's on the other foot down the road, what goes down, I think it's going to be a hell of a battle for the championship all the way through. I mean, as far as the series investor or co-owner in the series, I'm licking my chops, man. Yeah, absolutely, because these are two guys that, I think, and you probably think, they have a pretty bright future. You don't know how long the Cars Tour is going to even have these guys. For all intents and purposes, they go on to, a truck ride, an Xfinity ride, something like that. Carson Kvapil is that good.
We know he's that good.
I think I think Butterbean is also talented enough to get there.
I do too.
I think he's I think both of these guys could get in a truck and go run well at a short track somewhere or a smaller racetrack. So I'm excited to see that. I think Carson might get some opportunities here in the future. We're working hard on our end at Junior Motorsports to try to provide that for him. And me and Butterbean have talked about sitting down and having lunch and talking about his, what can he do? What tools does he have and what resources does he have and how can he utilize those to present opportunities to him beyond the Cars Tour? As much as I'd love for all of our drivers to stick around and race for us, race for the Cars Tour forever.
Sure.
It's a tough situation to be in, man. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Carson got the worst end of it. That's frustrating. I went over and saw those guys yesterday at the shop, talked to them. They're ready to regroup and get back at it. But in the end, it was a big night for the Cars Tour.
Yeah.
In terms of showcasing what the series is all about. My timeline was full of people going, damn, that was the best race I've seen all year. Now, I know it's a blanket statement, but, I saw that same statement multiple times. And if you haven't saw, the replay or want to see some of the highlights, go on flowracing.com or Flow on the app and check it out. The Cars Tour race at Dominion this past Saturday night.